Devin, was that game, the last game, or the game that you played against the Kansas City Chiefs, was that an awakening for this defense? Obviously, the way that the Chiefs started and then the way you guys came back and you finished, made some plays down the stretch, the game was a lot closer. But you look at the kind of the run that defense went on the rest of the season to where you guys are right now. What do you remember most about that game?
I don't say it was awakening, but it was a reality check. We was just always this team like, we going to do what we do, and we're going to stop you. But at the end of the day, you got other great players in this league, and sometimes, we might have a great player too, but the matchup is just not perfect. So you got to find other ways to thrive in the game. And I feel like after halftime, we did just that. We held them to 7 points in 2 quarters after the half, but they already jumped up 20 on us. So that kind of like, it's a hard way to, we dug ourselves too deep in the hole to come back. We ran out of time. But going into game 2, we know how they're going to attack us. We know how we want to attack them. So I feel like the outcome in the start of the game would be a whole lot different.
We know that speed kills, and you look across the lineup in Kansas City, and that's all they have with Hardman and obviously Tyreek Hill. They have a great route runner in Travis Kelce. And you're probably going to be asked all weeks, pick your poison. Who do you have to shut down first? But I want to ask you just about that element of speed and how much that challenges a defense.
I mean, it challenges a guy. It challenges the whole defense. When you got guys just running free, just like they're in a track meet. But that's what we got better at in the second half. When we started mixing up the coverage, we was able to get our hands on guy. Because when you touch a guy, that eliminate how fast he can run. And so that's one of the main things. Like if you go watch, every game since the playoffs, we've been real physical with guys. We've been getting our hands on guys. We've been knocking timing out. We've been giving our guys up front chance to get the quarterbacks off their spot, just break down plays. And I think, like you said, like we've been playing good. I feel like that's been part of the reason, just how physical our DBs been, how great concepts they've been playing. They've been playing well together, where it's been man-to-man, a zone, passing off routes, linebackers, me and Levante underneath, getting our hands on people in zone, knocking them off the routes, and, making sure we winning our one-on-ones with tight ends and running backs. So those guys, so the safeties can help the DBs because they got a harder responsibility holding receivers that are better route runners. And, man, at the end of the day, it's a collective team effort, and that's why we've been able to get wins, and we're trying to keep it going.
Before we started, Devin, we kind of talked about your college years at LSU and how effective you were as a blitzing linebacker. But then you come into the NFL, now your second year, how you get 9 sacks this year, man? Like, how does the inside linebacker get 9 sacks? And especially from that, since the last game against Kansas City, you've had 4 sacks. Just the ability for you to not only rush the passer, but be in coverage. How versatile of a linebacker has Todd Bowles' defense made you this season?
Yeah, I mean, you got to have a skill set to be able to do it. And a lot of people don't even realize, like, my pass rate, win rate is so high because I don't really rush a lot. But when I'm always trying to be effective because I never know when my number will be caught again. And like you said, Todd Bowles' defense, man, he got one of the best schemes in the whole entire league. And I love playing for it because, it allowed me to be in coverage. It allowed me to be able to be the free tackler in the run game. It allowed me to be a blitzer. Like, I got the best of both worlds. I'm able to do everything. So that just, I took it upon myself to just master my game, just get better and better and better so I could be used in those ways. Because just because the system requires for you to do those things don't mean you're going to be the best doing it. So I had to take my game to a whole new level, and I'm steadily striving to go upward. So, I mean, I'm just a blessing to be able to play for TB.
Kirk, you touched on what we talked about during the break. Also during the break, you had stepped away, but I wondered how he got away from Tulane. He saw the Tulane helmet behind me. I had to give him a hard time about that, how he ended up at LSU. But that's time for another story. But, this is a different week because you're playing at home. COVID-19 has impacted the way the NFL is going to present a game. No Super Bowl opening night. But did Tom Brady or Rob Gronkowski or the guys with Super Bowl experience sit down and discuss what this week was going to be like so you could not only mentally prepare but know what to expect come Sunday?
Nah, they haven't did, but BA, man, last week when we opened up and we started practicing, we told us to keep the main thing. Like, we here for a reason. Like, we need to go and set the blueprint of basically our scheme this week, we need to get everything understood because we're going to get a time to be able to study a lot, and we need to take advantage of it. You know, at the end of the day, you know, we got a head coach that's, you know, been with some great organizations, been able to, you know, be around Super Bowl teams and win the Super Bowl and et cetera. So, I mean, we got great leadership in front of us. So that's where it starts with. It starts with the great leadership. And I feel like it's domino down all the way into us. And we just, everybody playing their role, everybody doing their job.
I know we can say that last year's team was the 2019 team, but you add Tom Brady in 2020 as a defensive player, as a kind of a captain on defense. Devin, what does Tom Brady, looking at the other side at your offense when he's on the field, what kind of confidence does that give you guys defensively?
Man, it give us a lot of confidence knowing that he's a winner. That's the main thing. It's like, hey, Tom Brady give us 21 points. We need to be able to win this game. Tom Brady don't turn the ball over. We need to be able to go get turnovers because you win a turnover ratio, you win the game 9 times out of 10. You know, I know last week I think we lost the turnover ratio, but defense was hot and we still won the game. And Tom Brady was able to close the game out for us when it mattered the most. And, you know, there's always a good thing having him over there, you know, knowing you can count on him. But I know at the end of the day, I heard him say, like, hey, my biggest thing going into the one playing is not to be the reason why we lose the game. So him saying that, I'm like, all right, well, we gonna not be the reason on defense that we lose either. So now it's back on you, buddy. But I mean, it's just great being able to play with a guy such as TB.